Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so giggly right now. Welcome back to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. I am Shelby.
And I'm Christine.
And we're back.
We're back.
We're back and we're better than ever, except
maybe not.
Maybe worse, actually. I'm not really sure.
Worse behavior. Yes.
We might be on worse behavior. We're going to find out in this episode. Christine, how have you been? Tell me how you've been.
Girl, like I don't even know if I can answer that question really.
Where do we start?
Where do we begin? Like things are good. Mm-hmm. And also I constantly feel like I'm in a whirlwind. Like, you know, just life is different, but it is good.
There we go. I feel the same way.
Much busier.
Mm-hmm.
But good.
Yes. You know, we scheduled a meeting a few weeks back to, say, hey, let's get together. First of all, let me just say it was bound to happen at some point because we are both Pisces. We were bound to take an extended break.
Hello.
And then really, really have to be like, oh shit, we got to get back to the podcast.
Got to do this thing. Are we doing this thing? Are we still doing it? You know,
the fact that we made it through 4 seasons without doing that, like we made it through 4 seasons and we came back mostly on time every time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we had one very extended break.
Just,
okay. Took a light hiatus. Yeah.
Yes.
But we had a meeting a couple weeks ago where we set up, we decided we were going to record. We were deciding that we were going to come back on, in the middle of Pisces season. And I was like, yeah, my life so settled right now. So settled. Everything's good. I'm in the house. I've got a stable job. Everything's going so great. And literally the next week I got laid off. I spoke too soon. So just canon events happening right and left.
I mean, truly, life is life, and like,
it is. But that's what it does.
This shit up.
It's what it does. Life just keeps life in. And now I've got more time to dedicate to the pod. Although somehow I'm like the busiest unemployed person I've ever met. I swear.
Unemployment is a busy time.
It's strangely
it's a busy time.
If I have to type my name and my jobs into one more little fucking box, I'm gonna explode.
Girl. So many, just how many? It's nothing like applying for jobs to like make you want to refine the process. Are we still doing it like this? Have we not
still doing
advanced in this way?
I have uploaded my resume and I still have to type
every job. I have to type it in.
Why?
How does it make sense?
We have AI. Come on. I have ChatGPT writing my cover letters, and yet here we are. What is
you
this?
You can't have this. Take this information, put it into your system. You can't make that happen at this point.
Apparently, that technology does not yet exist, or at least all of the places that I am applying to have not yet caught on to that technology. Which
probably our field of work.
Yeah, that's really the problem. Is that our field is like way behind in terms of tech.
Yeah,
I got to start applying for jobs at corporations or something, I guess, because I guess everything's about to be privatized.
Oh, girl, the state of the world.
But that's not what y'all are here for. I'm going to try to not. I want to acknowledge that things are bad, but also
things are bad.
This is a podcast about astrology. I don't want to bring in any negative energy.
Not too much.
First episode back.
Not the first episode.
Exactly. So, I'm going to do my best.
You want to be a place of respite.
Yes, exactly. So just know that you that's listening to this podcast, you know it's bad. We know it's bad. Mm-hmm. And that's and we're here to have a good time.
We just want to lighten your spirit.
Yes. There we go. I believe in us.
Yes.
Yeah. So many things have happened. I'm just like, where do we even start?
It's like, where we should start? With co-star.
There we go. Perfect. Man, it's like we have a formula for the episodes. It's like we've done this before,
I
perhaps.
was like, where do we go from here? Oh, co-star.
Yeah.
That's how we start the show. It's been so long, y'all. Like, we're like, how do you do this again? I forgot the email address.
That's right. That's right.
Forgot the platform we record in. Like, huh?
Man. Oh, that's how you do that. And you know what? Once I finally reacclimated myself to how we do this, I was like, oh, actually, we have this set up quite nicely. Like, we do have a good system. Look at us. But, you forget. We
forget. Busy doing all the other things. You're like, oh, we did set ourselves up quite nicely.
Yes.
Very
proud of us.
Good for us.
Pat on the back. Pat on the back. There we go.
Okay. Do you want to give us your co-star?
I would love to. Man, it's been so long.
I know.
I'll try to stop saying that. I'm emotional. I'm so glad to be here.
And we're so glad to be back.
I know. This is so fun. Okay. My co-star tonight says, love is not just a word. That's very nice. That's very nice. Yeah. After that, the Mars retrograde ended, I feel like all my personal relationships are going quite well. We don't have a lot of storming. We don't have a lot of,
tension,
conflict. Yeah. So I feel like my personal relationships are going well. I feel like I've been pouring into a lot of my relationships lately because I've had the time. So I think maybe that speaks to me in that way. It's not just a word. It's like, the actions that come with it. Yeah. My do's include messy desk. Check. My desk is very messy right now.
You don't want to see my coffee table.
It's, you know what? We're Pisces. That's part of the process. It's part of the creative process. Okay. Yeah. Messy desk done. Colorful annotations. If you look at this little outline that we have for the podcast in front of us, it's colorful.
It's colorful.
Okay. Do.
Yeah.
And then book clubs. Is it time to revive the book club?
We should absolutely revive the book club.
Okay, good to know. Thank you, co-star. My don'ts include intolerance. Okay, there's a lot of that in the world right now, so try to avoid it. Monologue. Good thing there's two of us here.
Yep.
I'll try not to go on any monologue tangents. And then remix.
Hey.
We look like DJs right now. We got our over-ear headphones on. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
I love it. That's my co-star.
Yes. You know what? Okay, quick tangent on book clubs.
Of course.
So I'm reading, a friend and I started a book together. We've kind of fallen off, which we need to get back into, but we've been reading the 48 Laws of Power.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Victoria read that book very recently. And she had things to say about it. She was like, you have to know your enemy. That's why you have to read it. And I was like, okay, all right.
Messy, when I would tell you about it like that, I think I'm only like 6. No, I'm not to 20, but so I might be at like 18 or something. Okay. But I'm reading these things and I'm like, so ruthless. Like, I don't know if I'm meant to be powerful. It's just, everything is so cutthroat.
Yes. That is exactly how I felt when she was telling me stuff about it. She was like, no, that's how this is the book that all these fucking white men, corporate people read. And I was like, she would tell me stuff about it. And I would be like, I don't think that's how it should be. Like, that's my little idealistic heart is like, no, I can't. I'm not cut out for that shit.
And the funny thing is, the reason why I started reading it was I was watching some dating video on TikTok and a girl was quoting from the book, which is, what she was talking about is a concept that is like general. I'm trying to remember what she was saying. Basically, it was, your absence is more powerful sometimes than your presence, right? And so she's talking about that principle or that law. And I was like, interesting. I've heard about this book, but I've never thought about reading something like this. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna order it. So I told my friend at work, and he's like, yeah. He used the book in some graduate study. And I was like, well, that's interesting. What was your thesis?
Follow up on that. I want to know more.
Let's talk more about that.
How to manipulate women.
Yeah, right.
In this thesis, I will.
Right. Like, what's going on here? And so that's how I got to the book. And so we're like reading it together, and like I'm also got the audiobook so I can let it talk to me and then read it. And then I can highlight at the same time certain things. But girl, yeah. It's a lot for my little Pisces, my Pisces moon. Just, oh my goodness. It's so good.
It really is. Just feels, I remember talking to Victoria about it, and she was talking about some of these like rules in terms of relationships. And the whole time I was just like, a relationship is not meant to be this power struggle. Like, that is not what this should be.
Yes.
But, I also have to be like, okay, I'm in a relationship where it's like, I feel very privileged that I don't think it needs to be a power struggle because we respect each other, and not every relationship is like that. But I'm also like, what kind of fucking relationship are you in that you're like having to, I don't know, just so many thoughts
and do all these like power plays, and that's too much. Yeah. Like I don't
thinking
want
about
that.
It so consciously, like, I don't know, maybe that's my Aquarius, Venus, and Mars speaking, because I feel like sometimes I may or may not have a little manipulative tendency, whether I mean to or not.
Yeah.
But like, to have the conscious thought of like, yes, I'm going to get one over on this person, or I'm on top.
Now I'm on top.
Or not in a sexy way, like just,
not in a sexy way.
Just in a, but sex is just power, and power is just sex.
It's power, just sex.
Shout out to Janelle Monáe.
Come on, Janelle Monáe. Yes.
Ask yourself, who's screwing you? Okay, like,
girl,
we don't know.
I've been listening to some of that like specific album very much lately. Like, I need to be in that headspace. Like,
Yes.
It's still very timely. Right back, where we were.
Man.
The first time.
Do you want to get into it?
Let's get into it. Okay. Let's talk about, I'll get into my co-star instead of those things. So my co-star says, you are a precious, precious thing.
Oh, you know what? That is so timely for the conversation we just had. Like, you are a precious thing.
You are precious.
You don't have to like seek out power like that. You're precious.
You don't have to do this.
Yes. Your precious little Pisces heart.
Come on. Like, I need someone who can work with this. Like, someone with a little sensitive energy. Just a little water energy, maybe.
Yes. Just a little bit.
You know what it reminds me of before I go to my do's and don'ts? It honestly reminds me of being in relationship with Virgos.
Yes, I'm precious. And you, Virgo, need to recognize it.
Well, I mean, the 48 laws of power.
That, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
The power struggles.
I must remind you that Victoria is also a Virgo moon. So I'm like, oh, of course that fits with you. Of course you love this shit. Like, yeah, the Virgo just
getting
jumping
one up
out.
on them, just maneuvering. And I'm like, that's too much. But no, I am a precious, 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 precious thing.
Precious, precious.
Yes. All right. So my do's, airplane mode. Soon, friends, soon. Yeah. Direct sunlight.
Yes.
Been
like
getting
a plant.
Lots of that lately.
Okay.
Yes.
Living in the direct sunlight.
Yes. The sun has come out. It's like it's decided this week to be a little warmer.
Oh my God. It's full spring. Full spring is just in full
right
swing.
Here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And suddenly all my problems are gone because the sun is out.
The sun has shone on me. Yes. Equally as dramatic.
Yes.
Power ballads.
Oh, there we go. Love a power ballad. Get a little, yes.
I am here for a power ballad. Like, when my neighbors get really loud upstairs, I like to put my headphones on and sing the top of my lungs and hope
I bet they love the show. I hope you don't enjoy it.
I hope you don't enjoy it.
I hope you hate it.
It doesn't sound bad, but I hope you don't enjoy it.
I hope you're not in the mood.
It's annoying.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And that's on Upstairs Neighbors.
That's on Upstairs Neighbors. Also, don't smugness.
Well, excuse us. Oops.
Not right after me being smug.
Check you immediately.
How? Don't ego trips.
Okay.
Happens sometimes. I got them Aries
word?
placements.
Look, very hard not to.
It's a struggle sometimes. And sugar rush.
I saw you eating real food earlier. Okay, I saw you eating real food.
Red food.
I know. I'm impressed. Look, I know.
You met me. I was doing snack lunch. Remember snack lunch?
Hey, I love a snack lunch, but sometimes we have to eat a full meal.
It's the predecessor to girl dinner. See, I was on it before everybody. People going
way ahead of your time.
Snack lunch, okay?
Way ahead of your time.
Get with it.
Trendsetter. Well,
real food. Okay.
Real food. It's good.
Now,
for
I
you.
did have a drink this morning. I would say that on the sugar rush, and I ran into my old supervisor at a work site this morning. Right? I was telling Shelby earlier how fine this man is, and I just
looking fine as fuck.
I'm like, it's still just in my brain. Like, God.
Look, we've learned this lesson in past seasons. Don't fuck your coworkers, but you're not coworkers anymore.
We're not coworkers anymore. Okay? And it's like,
and if this man is looking good,
I mean, I'm looking good. You looking good. Good morning.
I'm team get Christine laid. Okay.
Yes. We'll talk about it. But I went to Starbucks. So I was at a high school this morning, right? And so high schools start really early. And the only thing open that early is the damn Starbucks.
Right.
To get something, liquid to drink. I usually have a smoothie from my favorite Ian Rose.
Shout out. I miss it.
Shout out to Ian Rose. Okay.
Sponsor us.
Wesley.
Okay.
Hey, Wesley. So that's my guy.
Hey.
At the 505 location. But, they open at 7. School starts at 7, and we need to be there before 7. So I go to Starbucks, and I get one of these. I was looking at the refreshers, and they were like lemonade-y, and I'm like, okay. Then I scroll down, and they have like the ones with coconut milk, and I'm like, okay, let me try this out. And so I put in my cart, and I look at, I'm looking at just, the nutritional facts a little bit. I just want to see, like, what's the sugar content in this? Because the reason I didn't get the lemonade was because I thought that there was a lot of sugar in it, because usually lemonades have a lot of sugar.
Yes.
So then I go back, and I'm like, well, wait. Let me look at the chai, because, I love chai.
Yeah,
the chai had double the sugar of the coconut milk drink. And I was like, okay, well, let's get the
okay, we'll go with that, I guess.
Which already had 30 grams of sugar in it. That was the thing. I was like, that's a lot of sugar.
That's so much.
So the chai had 60. It was hot. Like,
look, I have not ever even dared to look at the sugar content of the Starbucks drinks that I enjoy, because I don't have them very often. I try not to go there because it's corporate bullshit, but also it's so good. Okay.
But I'm telling you, I really don't even do Starbucks unless it's this kind of situation, because no one else is open yet.
You don't have a choice. You're in the airport. You're on a road trip. Yes. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Like,
it's Starbucks. And so I'm like, fine. Just to have something it's not the gas station, so I'm like,
it's not my gas station energy drink. It could be worse. It could be way worse. Okay. But honestly, 60 grams of sugar, that's probably the equivalent of a fucking Monster or something. Like,
seriously. I'm like, that's what's in the chai. I'm like, that's wild. So I got the other drink, which was good. It was like, it had blackberries. And I don't remember what it was called, like midnight something. But the guy, my old supervisor, he was asking me what it was. And I'm like, I haven't even had it before. He's like, oh, you taking chances this morning. I'm like,
look, it's new for me.
The chai had double the sugar. And that's all. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah.
I'm out here trying to stave off diabetes. Okay. Like, no, we don't need it.
I went to the doctor, and I not only do not have diabetes, I am also not pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
To snap down on my family, because everybody, I feel like they damn near wanted me to be done.
Come on, they're just like, yeah, you'll see. Like, no, actually,
you're gonna have it too. No, I don't.
Yeah, because you eat healthy as fuck. You're eating rose and you're eating kava, and I'm like, you're eating healthy, okay?
Most of the time.
Yeah, everybody has their little things, but when I see you eating stuff, I'm like, yes, okay, look at you.
I might still be the same size. but the food I'm eating is healthy.
Your body is getting the nutrients that it requires.
It needs, yes. And so my
Yes.
doctor's visit, my blood work came back good.
Okay.
And I was like, I do see some areas I would like to improve, but like
Sure.
nothing looks crazy. And, also now I went to a resident clinic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't get into the other part. I'm like, the reason why I was going to the doctor. Well, okay. Anyway, I went to the hospital early this year. I went to the emergency room and thought I was having a little heart issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as everything, when I went, nothing was emergent.
Okay.
So we, have a follow-up doctor's visit just to check everything out. Also, the doctor's visit was good. But I say all that to say, the doctor I had was dope as fuck. Like, also at Pisces.
I love that. Okay.
He was so great. I was like, I want to be his friend. Like, we had the best conversation. He also told me he has a sister that is my same age and born on the same day.
Oh my God.
So
2 Pisces in one family.
Right. Apparently some families have this. I've heard this, but I have not experienced this.
The parents,
I don't know.
Parents are getting it in, but once a year on the same day, same time.
Must be an anniversary.
There you go. There you go. They went out. They had a good time. Let's do it again.
Yeah, this works. This worked well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just loved him. Like, he's also a gay man, so I was like,
okay, yeah. Relatable content. Yes. We love it.
But, just, he was amazing. So, shout out to him. I mean, I'm not going to call his name.
Sure.
But
it is so few and far between, I think, to have a doctor that you've, like, pretty much every doctor I've ever encountered, it has either been just adequate or less than adequate, right? It's like, I've never had a doctor's experience where I've been like, yes, I love this doctor. I think maybe I had one doctor one time, and it was the very last doctor I saw when I lived in Nashville. And then I moved, and now I can't see them anymore. Oh. And even, I had several medical things while we were on our hiatus. Mm-hmm. And, both of the doctors that I saw, very good bedside manner. Yeah. But I didn't feel connected to them, really.
Yeah.
And the other thing that happens is, like, I am pretty healthy for the most part. My blood pressure is always good. They look at me and they go, oh, you're fine. And I'm like, and what happened was I actually was very not fine. And they didn't like think to check anything early because of what I looked like. And so we didn't do anything about it until it had been several weeks later. And it's like, okay, no, I need you to actually like take your time and actually check. Like, I need to have a connection with the doctor. And, now they know. So I don't really want to go anywhere else because now they know to check for certain things.
Right.
But I'm like, what is that? Like, are all the doctors just so busy that they can't spare the time? Like, what is it? Do they just not get trained?
We QTNA, okay? Like, questions that need answers.
Yes.
What's going on? Are there too few of you? Are you just stressed out? You haven't had sleep? Like, what is the answer?
Because why is it so in and out? You're making these very quick judgment calls on very little information. Yeah, I don't know. But all that to say, I'm very glad that you're doing well, medically speaking.
Yes.
That's always good news. We can celebrate that.
Always good news. I've, going into my 40th year, that is very positive news.
I'm like, I cannot believe that. I'm like, no, we're both 25. Like, what? Right, you are not about to be 40. You are not.
In some ways, I very much feel that, not just physically, but there become times, we talk a lot about, we've both worked with children, we work at schools, the distance, the gap between myself and the youth, it just gets a little wider. Now, I feel like I keep up well. But, like, sometimes you're like, yeah.
Every once in a while, it's obvious to me. I think again, both of us, I think, do a pretty good job. I think we both look very young for our age.
Yes.
But at the same time, every once in a while, somebody will say something to me and I'll just be like, no. Or really what it is now I'm playing roller derby much more heavily than I have been. Can't wait to tell you more about that. I'm doing better than I ever have as far as that goes. I'm like actually getting good at it. I'm
okay,
like, oh,
girl.
okay.
Yes.
But at the same time, I get hit and I get up and I'm like, oh, like I can hear myself making the noises. I'm like, oh, like, oh my God, I sound like I'm 85. Why am I making that sound? There's no need for that. Like, yeah.
I'm telling you, I mean, when stuff starts getting stiff, like you're like, well, hold on now. I should just be able to do that. Like, what?
Just pop right back up.
Hold your back a little bit. Like, oh, okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
Like, losing
in my Epsom salt bath every night.
I know you are. You better be.
I have to be. It's the only thing keeping me alive in the wintertime and keeping me from just being sore as shit every day.
So I'm telling you, the one thing so the doctor that I saw, I think he's turning 30.
Okay.
And so he was asking me about, my experience turning 30, or if I was like, were you like nervous or afraid? And I was like, I was actually excited about it, but like, I was an anomaly. Most of my friends that were turning 30 were like, what the fuck? Like, we're turning 30. Like, oh my God, life is coming to it. I don't know. Is it coming to an end? Like, my life as I know it, like, what's going to happen? And I'm like, it's good times. Now I was like, now your body, things do start to feel different. Like 30 is when I started feeling like, oh, wait a minute, now that
I'm
feel that before.
Yeah.
Him, getting closer, now we're at 40s, so we're like, yeah, things are feeling a little different. There's definitely more of a present thought of taking care of my physical.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, you can't just consume things the way you used to and eat all the sugar that you used to, or do, just those things really start to add up.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. I think, and I'm about to turn 33, so like it's not a lot of my views that I have lived yet, but thus far, I think I feel like I have things figured out much better in my 30s than I did in my 20s. You could not pay me to go back to being in my 20s. Like,
there it is.
Yeah.
Everybody gets there. Like, nope.
Yeah, no, I'm so over it.
I'm good on that.
I have, I like who I am better in my 30s. But at the same time, what I have noticed the most is that I can drink, I can have a good time. If I drink too much, that is 2 days. That is 2 days of my life that are gone.
Yes.
Like, I have to plan to do nothing the next day and then be a little bit, I don't know.
On the next day.
The next day. So I have to drink on Friday because I need 2 days. Hey, I drank last week on a Saturday. 2 weeks in a row, I had events on Saturday night. I was out all day Sunday. Monday, I was not my best, even in the least. Like,
the recovery time is crazy. Like you really do have to do extra things, like extra hydration, or like, I mean, I see why people do the IV shit now.
Yes, absolutely. If I could just wake up and go get, just put an IV in my arm. I'm trying to get Sam to go to medic school so that he can start doing IVs for me at home. I'm like, come on, you're an EMT.
Girl, run me a drip.
Go get your little certification so you can do that for me.
Listen.
Yeah. And really the answer is I should probably just know how to not drink too much.
Just drink a little less.
But I have not yet figured out how to consume appropriate amounts when I'm having a good time.
It is one of those things. I think I am now at, I did tell you, we had talked before that I had started back on wine. I don't know how I really got away from my wine in particular.
Yeah.
But it had been a long time since I even had any wine in the house, and I really don't have any liquor in the house. I don't have like any alcohol in the house other than this now boxed wine. And I was like, how did we get here? Like, boxed wine, Christine?
Look, but you're not drinking Franzia. You got the
but I'm not
classy
drinking
stuff.
Franzia. It is
You got
classy.
the classy stuff,
It is
okay?
classy.
You got a little Boda box over there. I see you. That shit is good.
It's good. I like it. But like, it shocked me even that I'm like, we're at the box now. Like, we swore we would never be a box girl.
Look, it's okay. It's good. It's good shit.
But even now, I'm like, the wine or any kind of liquor, like if I had, well, I think I told you about this time, but I had gone out with a coworker at the previous school I worked at the alternative school that I worked at. And we went to Las Palmas, because you maximize.
Yes, those marks will get you.
Those marks really get you. And so we had a couple of marks.
Speaking of a sugar rush. Because what do they put in those?
Yes.
That's where it gets dangerous when you start doing the shots, right?
But 2 margaritas and a shot.
That's not unreasonable. Food. That's not unreasonable.
I was a little tipsy when we left. But I felt manageable. I hate saying this, but I went to my friend's house, and then we smoked a little.
See, that's where you fucked up. That's where you fucked up. That's where you fucked up.
And I was sick in her bathroom. I was so embarrassed. Like, I was like, how old are you, Chrissy? Like, you're about to be
Sometimes
40.
That shit just sneaks up on you, especially if the weed is good. Okay, especially if the weed is good. And you know the weed is good over there.
Girl, I was so disappointed with myself. Like, it just, and she didn't think anything of me. She was,
of course not.
She was up watching the show. Like, she's like, make sure y'all right. But,
yeah, but you take care of yourself. Sit on the couch, whatever. We've all been there, right? Well, maybe some of y'all have probably not been there. I have been there. Most of the people I hang out with have been there. It's
just been so long since I've been there, and it really has been since I was in my 20s that I have been in that space, and I'm like, oh girl, really? Like, what are you doing? So I shamed myself about it, but I apologized multiple times.
There you go.
And I still, when I think about it, I still feel a little like,
we all get a little anxiety. I don't know. I hang out with enough other people that drink more than I do that I'm like, y'all can I have taken care of enough other people. Y'all can take care of me for a second, okay? You can get me home, figure it out. I'll be fine. I'm
telling you,
I don't feel a bit bad about it. I'm not making a habit out of it.
That. Right. Now, if this was a habit, we got a different conversation coming.
Yes.
Because, girl, what are you doing? Like, and nobody has time for this. Like, don't nobody got time to be taking care of you like this.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not even gonna apologize. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
You're fine.
Yeah. The fact that it's been that long since that's happened to you.
And don't worry. They've never experienced that. What's going on? I just, the margaritas got me. I think it just, so much tequila. And again, I really don't drink that much anymore at all until I came back to wine. Even with that, I'm like, that puts me down. Like, I'm like, okay, like if I have this wine, I'm like, okay, in an hour,
set a timer.
I'm going to be down.
Yes.
Like, it's funny, like I'll be sitting on the couch, like watching TV, and I'll feel myself get a little deeper. And I'm like, well, just laid down. I'm still watching TV.
Cozy in here. You're out sleeping on the couch.
Wake up. I'm like, oh, how much of the show did I missed a whole half an hour? Like, I got to figure out where I left off. Another show is on. What is this? And then you're confused because you're like, what is on my TV right now? Is this part of the episode?
You're just like coming out of it just confused. And relatable content.
Also, speaking of things I saw on TV, I saw a new cult documentary.
Ooh, is it time?
I meant to text you about it. I was like, man, I got to text Shelby. there is a, and it might be old because I'm just getting back to some of my Netflix content, but there's a TikTok cult, a dance cult.
Oh,
have you seen that?
I have not watched this, but I saw it got be advertised, and I feel like I listened to another podcast where they talked about it.
I think there was a podcast or something.
Did they talk about this on the Friend Zone maybe or something like that?
It has been a very long time since I have listened to my favorite podcasts. And
I haven't really been into listening to other podcasts either, but I do feel like I remember hearing about it just briefly.
Okay. I definitely want to hear what they had to say.
I'll have to fact check myself. Some podcast I listened to
somebody was talking about
it. Yeah.
Okay. It's real weird. I was like, oh God, like just call, you know me and cults.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
yes.
Get here. And then people are just in it, and people's families are just distraught because they haven't talked to their loved one in so long. And, then they can't get any help because they're like, well, they're an adults. And
what
if they just don't want to talk to you, then no one can make them talk to you.
Nobody
and they're like, my
and
child.
technically they haven't, if a cult has not done anything explicitly illegal, like, unfortunately, manipulating people's minds isn't really illegal.
And that's what the police said,
That was maybe the most Aquarius thing I've ever said. Is my Aquarius, Venus, and Mars was just like, technically, that kind of manipulation, not illegal.
Not illegal. It's like, it might be immoral, but it's definitely not illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of things that are
take that up for yourself.
Illegal here that are very immoral.
Precisely.
But something to check out. I think it's called that's what the cult is called. It's like but it's very much under the guise of a Christian church. But I'm like, again, you join a church that then tells you that actually we want to manage your TikTok. Like, we want to manage your career as a dancer, because it's like these dancers, all these people who dance.
Something about this is not giving Christianity. Like, how are these related?
Why do you need to manage my career as my church leader?
Sometime we should just talk about, like, the rise of Christian influencers on TikTok and just, like, how that shit has infiltrated politics and people's, like, there's just so many little rabbit holes we could get in on.
I'm telling you.
I literally just saw an article today that said that Christianity has been dropping consistently over the last, like, several decades, but it is finally, like, plateaued. It's not dropping anymore. And I think people you're going to start seeing a ramp back up.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with, like, the political sphere being the way that it is. Trad wife culture is back. Oh my God. And that reminds me, it's been so long. Have we talked about the Mormon show, the Mormon Wives show? Did we?
The one on Hulu?
Yes.
I don't think we have. I've been tempted to watch it, but I watched The Housewives of SLC over on Bravo.
So you basically have already seen it, yeah.
Well, they're like competitive shows, but I still, at some point, I'm going to watch it. But I think they're a younger set of women
because they also are all on TikTok and very influential that way. It's really interesting. I watched it, and it takes a lot for me to really get into a reality TV show.
It does.
But I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. So if you watched it, let me know. We can talk about it on the show.
Okay, yes. I still want you to watch The Traitors so bad. They're going to have another season.
How about that?
Good.
So many things. Okay, I'll put it on my list. I'm going to put it on my list.
Just for Alan, like his he's just so theatrical, and his wardrobe. Every season he tops himself. I'm just like, I just watch for Alan, like, I'm just here for Alan. He, like, is a treasure.
Okay, I love that.
Watch for Alan. You will love Alan.
Watch for Alan. Okay, Alan on the Traitors.
Yes.
We're a little bit out of order here, but, like, do you want to just segue right into relatable content?
Yes.
Is there, because I was going to ask you about what you've been listening to. Is there anything else that you have been watching? Any other TV?
Okay. White Lotus just came back on.
Yes, I just watched the first episode. Yes. Thailand. Yes. All those losers back home. I am loving it.
The losers.
I'm loving it.
It's, the White Lotus is so great because it starts, you never know. You have no idea where this is going to go.
Right.
Like, and it just is always so weird and just like, what's going on with that? And yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Not to mention, I threw it on the TV the other night and I was like, forgot how beautifully shot this is. Like you get these long pans of the scenery and they're always in these
Yes.
beautiful locations.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous. It's just like a very pleasing on the eyes to watch, and you get just the absolute drama of it all. So I love
Yes.
it. Yes to White
Yes.
Lotus. I need to watch the second episode. I might do that tonight when we get done here.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's even better. Like it's more strange kind of things you're trying to put together. Like, what's going on with that relationship? Like, what's
Right.
yeah, like it's just interesting. Very
And
interesting.
we get Miss Natasha Rothwell, is that her name? Yes, we get her back.
Yes.
Okay, I'm very excited about that. I'd love to see her in other things. Kelly.
Yes.
She's always going to be Kelly.
Kelly.
Yes.
She will always be Kelly, but we will allow her to do other roles.
Yes.
But she will
She's
always
great.
be Kelly. Because she was great as Kelly too.
She was. Yes.
Okay, so I know I've watched a lot of I've watched a lot of reality. I was putting up Hulu and I saw Abbott Elementary and I started saying
I love Abbott Elementary. Shout out to the Eagles. They won the Super Bowl. Good for them. I was sad for the Chiefs, but also you know what? I kind of wanted them to win because the kids at Abbott deserve it.
The kids at Abbott deserve.
And Jalen Hurts is fine as fuck. Okay,
girl. Jalen and what's the other guy? Is it? I know it's not Shaquan. It's Shaken. How does he say his name? Shaquan? Is it Shaquan?
I think it's Shaquan Barkley, right?
Okay,
but I could be saying it wrong, so I don't.
Somebody said it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I thought it was Shaquan, but it's Shaquan."
I think it's Shaquan.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine. That one right there.
Both of them.
I was like,
look, they could Eiffel Tower the shit out of me, and I would love that.
Yes.
One of these days, someone in my family is going to listen to this and be like, "Oh God, sorry."
We'll talk about a lot of Eiffel Towering. Like we love to Eiffel Tower.
Look, I've never actually personally, I've not actually ever done that, but I would consider it.
But you know,
if these two people, you get the right, you get the right trio. Call me French.
Yeah,
wee.
I'll be French. Yes. So I was gonna say I watch my regular reality. I do Housewives, Married to Medicine. I'm a Bravo girl.
Yes,
pretty much all their programming I be watching, even if I don't love it.
Just throw it on. Why not? I
just get on TikTok while I'm watching it. But I've watched a couple of documentaries about scamming white women. And I'm like, are we back? Is Anna, is she back? Like, she's just got spawns out here. So I watched the one on Netflix about what's her last name? From Australia. She did the whole pantry back in 2015. Elle Gibson, that's her name. Belle Gibson. Belle Gibson, not Elle.
Belle Gibson, okay. I've heard the name, but I don't know about the scandal.
You should watch.
Okay.
It's okay. What's the documentary called? Well, actually, it wasn't a doc on Netflix. It was I think there is now a doc on Netflix, but it was first a series that I watched.
Okay.
Of course, it's probably not going to come up quickly. Probably not. Apple cider vinegar. That's what it's called.
Okay.
And so she was scamming and pretending she had cancer, basically.
No.
And that she treated herself with like Whole Foods and juicing and all this stuff. Definitely watch it. I feel like the girl that played Anna, was it Anna Delvey?
Anna Delvey,
yeah. In that series is playing her in this series. And I was like, is this Anna Delvey again?
That's really funny.
Maybe it's the same actress or something. Or
talk about typecasts. Like,
hello? Like, and so I watched that, and I was all into that. Then I had to go watch like the real stuff and see this woman for real. And I mean, definitely some things going on there. But then on Hulu, there's a documentary called Scamanda about this white woman again that is pretending to have kids.
Why do they keep doing that?
Yikes. They're like, look, hey, this is a cash cow. Like, if I just
my God. Though you know, I love like a little wellness industry expose.
Hello?
Because
Yes, we love
after
it.
you've been in that space, you're like, damn, people are really just trying to profit off of everybody's sickness and misery. It's like, this is bad. This is bad.
But so she wasn't like, so she was, this is also a Christian woman, and she was scamming the church and everybody outside, but she like started this whole blog. I mean, she was going real far with it, like pictures of her in the hospital and vials and different stuff. Like she was basically going into the hospital and like getting all the photos, videos and stuff of her being in there. And then of course they would check her, just discharge her. I'm like, worse.
Right.
But there would, obviously be nothing wrong. But then she would just tell people, yeah, I was back, I had treatment, all this kind of stuff. It's wild. That is actually still on. I just saw that there's a new episode. I'm like, again,
Okay.
you're going to watch, what's it called tonight? And I'm going to watch Scamanda, the next installment, because I'm like, what is going to happen with this lady? And how are the people going to find out? Like, but so much money.
Yeah.
So much money.
I can't imagine how people think that kind of shit is sustainable. Like, what are you going to do? You just, like, you got to cut your losses at some point and be like, all right, I'm out. It's like.
Nobody walks away from the table.
Exactly.
No, this is why I won't gamble. It's like, I just can't even get myself started down that road.
Seriously.
Eventually you can't walk away.
Eventually you just can't walk away. Oof, man.
But that's what I've been watching. What have you been watching, if anything? Because I know you're not a big TV person.
I know. I try to be, and I will glom onto something every once in a while. But I'm watching. Well, obviously, I just started White Lotus. Trying to think if I've watched anything else interesting of late. I've been really watching a lot of movies lately. A lot of scary movies because I love a little spooky movie vibe.
Now, are you like scary, like there's someone stalking me scary? Are you scary, like spirit scary? Like what kind of scary movie person are you, Shelby?
I like all of the above. I do not discriminate in terms of horror movies. What I have found is that like I prefer like a cerebral kind of horror where you really have to think. You're like
a psychological thriller.
Yes, exactly. So I like that. I recently watched The Substance. Are you familiar?
I'm not. Tell me more.
It's on streaming on Tubi, I think. It is Demi Moore, and the concept, she is great in it. I think she won an Oscar for her performance, which is rare because like scary movies are not normally like, Oscar worthy. And I will say it's gross. It is a gross horror movie. There's a lot of body horror. So like things coming out of places. There's a lot of goo. There's just a lot of body horror. But the concept is very interesting. And considering we were just talking about age, basically Demi Moore plays this like aging Hollywood starlet. And she gets kicked off of her like longtime gig because they're like, she's too old. Get her out of here. Get this new young, we got to hire somebody new and young and whatever. And so basically she does this like back alley drug trade where she gets this drug that makes her young. It makes her look young. And it's like, but there's a cost, right? There's always a cost. And so it's like, how far will you go to be, to have the youth and to just like try to be who you once were? And it's very, very good. She acts the shit out of that movie. And Margaret Qualley is also in it, who's just gorgeous. Yes. She plays the younger version of Demi Moore. It's really good. But it's gross. It's gross. There's like, I spent a lot of the movie like looking away, being like, oh, I can't look. I can't watch. I can't watch that happen.
And that would be me the whole time. Like, okay.
But that being said, I still really enjoyed it. I still really liked it. So there's that.
Okay.
What else have I seen recently? It's been a little bit now, but like, obviously I saw Nosferatu. Like all the little goth white girls love Nosferatu. I don't know if you heard anything about that.
I've not. Like,
it's so Nosferatu is like an old movie that they remade. And it's based in, it's like Dracula's same universe. It's a vampire movie. It's very artsy, but it's good. I enjoyed that
Okay.
as well.
I might be able to enjoy that.
That one's not as scary. Lily Rose Depp is in it. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a little weird, but I love
weird.
I love a weird
I can do
artsy
goth.
moment. Yes.
I love artsy.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I can do that. Vampires. I can do vampires.
Yeah. 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 There you go. It's not so bad. I think there's been a few other ones here and there, but those were the standouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Things to check out. I don't know if I can do so much, but I'm already weird about just blood in general. I'm like, oh, don't talk about it too long because then I start getting pregnant.
I understand. Well, and I will say there was an entire scene that I watched it with Sam and I was like, I have to close my eyes. And he was like, I'll tell you when you can open your eyes again, because I think you know this about me. I'm sure that I've said this on air at some point. I cannot do belly buttons, right?
That's right.
I have a weird thing about belly buttons.
You
I cannot.
do.
I have a hard time touching the inside of my own. I don't like to watch people touch the inside of their belly buttons. It just really fucks with me. I don't know what that is. It's gross. And there's a whole ass scene where something comes out of her belly button in like a really gross, fucked up.
No.
And I'm like, nope. I can see where this is going. I'm just going to turn away and you just tell me when it's over. I hear it and that's enough. Okay. Yeah.
Every time you remind me of this fact about you, it just takes me out and I'm like, that is right. You and belly buttons.
I can't do it.
It's a thing.
A fun fact about me. I cannot do belly buttons. I don't know what it is. And you know what? It's for somebody who loves to wear a crop top. Like, I don't know what.
Like, if I could just erase the belly button and just move.
Such a visceral reaction. I'm just like, no, I don't want to think about it. Like, yeah, no, it's not good. Anyway, what have you been listening to lately? Have you been listening to anything good? I'm trying to move away from talking about belly buttons.
I know.
I'm trying so hard.
It's so good. It's every time I'm reminded of it. It's so good. So what have I been listening to? I've been listening to I'm kind of back and forth. I go between, I guess, old school.
Of course. Classic.
Whatever that is these days. Like, 90s is now old school. So
right.
I'm like, I definitely listen to that, but I listen to stuff my parents listen to. But so, I'm always in my Luther Vandross bag. Like, I love me some Luther.
Of course.
And of course, now Kendrick has made the children aware.
Yes.
The children know Luther a little bit now. Leon Thomas, like, as far as more current artists, big for me right now. I'm like, I feel like Leon Thomas is going to be my top artist of 2025 on Spotify. I feel like we've already set that up so far for him to be the top. Like, I think 2 years ago it was Masego. Last year it was Victoria Monet. Victoria Monet's still high up there. She's probably gonna be number 2.
Yeah.
But Leon Thomas is definitely, like, constantly in rotation in some way, shape, or form. And then who else? It's a mix, again, back to, like, very 90s. Like, today I was listening to a Drew Hill interlude. I'm like, they used to sing down on interludes. You know what I mean?
You know what? I miss
down.
And rap albums used to have good, funny little skits in their little intros too. Like, I like that. Why don't we do that more?
Yes. We don't even know. I hate to be like the older people. We don't even know what they're saying. Like, my parents, like, they watch the Super Bowl and they're like, Kendrick performed. I was talking to my mom about it and she's like, yeah, I mean, your dad, he couldn't understand what he was saying. And so she was like, she went and looked up some of the stuff and, like, looked at the lyrics. And I was like, oh,
yeah. What?
She's like, well, I'm not really a fan, but I understand.
As long as you receive the message, that's okay.
I was like, it's probably too much cussing for you. So, I mean, you know what it is. Like, it's like they're very, Christian. Their Christian sensibilities.
Yes, we understand.
So, but she at least could could kind of get with it,
Yeah,
like now
we'll take it.
Kendrick be
She's
talking about some
trying.
things,
He
like I'm like,
really, yes.
yeah, he's talking about some
Yeah.
real shit over here. But yeah, I've definitely listened to Kendrick new album, like been very much enjoying that. Dodger Blues, my little
Yes.
vibe,
There you go.
But yeah, that's my listens lately. What about
Okay.
you?
Well, I've been kind of all over the place because I
Yeah.
feel like last year my Spotify Wrapped was very pop heavy. Like I was
Yeah.
real with the little pop girlies. I had my Charlie XCX and
Okay.
Chapel Roan. I don't know if you
know about Chapel Roan. I had to find out. I
Yes.
didn't really know. I'd been hearing the name and I was like, who is this person? And then I found out.
Yeah, she's doing her thing. I was in the little pop girly moment. I'm still kind of in a little pop girly moment here and there.
Yes.
I love a little pop banger.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they refer to a lot of the pop music that came out in 2008. They call it recession pop, right? Because people wanted to. Because the recession happened and people wanted to go to the club and pretend like that shit wasn't happening.
Okay.
And the recession pop is making a resurgence, I think. I think people...
Okay. Give me examples of... Because I'm like, I was around, clearly, but I'm like, tell me some examples of what I'm thinking of recession pop.
When I think of recession pop, I think of like the number one person that comes to mind is fucking Jason Derulo.
Okay, yes.
That's recession pop.
Okay, I got you.
We have Jason Derulo, Trace, like early Trace songs, Bottoms Up, that's recession pop.
Okay,
right? DJ Got Us Falling in Love, like Usher. Okay. I feel like that era, Love in the Club, like I think that...
I still want to make love in the club, but
nobody will see us. They're literally talking about fucking in the club.
People used to be getting down in the club. It's dark in there.
And nobody can see.
And nobody can really see what you're doing.
People probably are still doing that, I would imagine. In these times...
we just don't go to clubs anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. But yeah, I'm predicting, I believe it's kind of already happening. I think the pop music is really making a big resurgence.
Yes.
So I've been kind of on that bag. But then I also, I'm a rap girly. I love my Kendrick. The GNX has been on repeat.
Yes.
All that. I loved the halftime show. I'm here for Kendrick being just a perfect little Gemini. Okay.
It was great.
The memes, the jeans that he was wearing, people were talking about his little flared jeans. Like,
girl, I've seen so many TikToks.
It's so good.
Men trying to wear jeans like this. I'm like, okay, look at y'all.
He really pulled something off. I love to see it. I've also been listening to SZA released her deluxe of SOS. So we've been listening to all the new songs on Lana.
Yes.
Very happy for her. Always going to be a SZA fan just because SOS got me through a very rough year.
I love SZA.
And then I've also been listening to the new, it's not really new anymore, but the Tyler album that came out last year.
Okay, yeah.
Chromacopia. Big fan of that. And I also just went to see Tyler. Let me tell you, I was in the literal nosebleeds. We were up way in the very top because those tickets were expensive. Sam came with me. He got an actual nosebleed. Like, I'm not bullshitting. That man actually, he was like, nosebleeding? I was like, oh no.
Oh no,
we're too high up. We were at the highest possible section.
I didn't even think that really happened.
I didn't either, but now I know why they call it that. It was cracking me up.
Poor thing.
That being said, it was a great show. Tyler is a performer, okay? There was set changes. There was outfit changes. He's just, the fashion is just so good. So I had already listened to Chromacopia and I enjoyed it. But then since I saw him, that was like probably 2 weeks ago, I have been back listening to that in regular rotation. So, and also he's a Pisces. So, you know
it's our fault.
You know the vibes. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for me as of right now.
Okay. You know what I thought of when you talked about pop, and it not recession pop, but like, I dabble, and I'm like, I don't think about these things until someone else mentions. I'm like, oh yeah,
sure,
I guess
yeah.
But someone who I've never listened to that I've recently, I can't say discovered, but I mean, personally discovered,
Yeah.
is Miss Ponytail herself. And I think it's because I listen to so much Victoria Monet,
Yeah.
you know, and she's so right for her.
Mhm.
But I have found some Ariana Grande, and I was like, okay,
You know what?
it is. It's a lot. But like, oh shit, 7 Rings. I'm over here. Yeah.
Just vibing. That is so funny that you say that, because she has always had a couple of bops that I've really liked, but I have recently done some kind of delving into Positions, you know, her nasty little album where she, you know, because she's coming into her own, and I've never really been a big fan of hers. I need to send you, I made a playlist recently. It's called Fuck Me, but in parentheses it says, but it's cunty pop. And it's like, it's like Doja Cat, Ariana Grande.
Yes.
It's like all the little pop girlies that are like, it's like sexy music, but it's pop. So
yes.
I'm gonna send you the
Please
playlist.
Send it to me. Yes, because I'm here for it.
Mostly Ariana Grande. So yes, okay, same vibes. I love it.
Yeah, I was like, then I finally went and saw Wicked, probably like maybe 6 weeks after the release.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm not a musical girl.
You're not a musical girl. Yeah.
I don't like musicals.
You have to like musicals. It just has to be a thing.
And The Wizard of Oz, when I was a kid, my favorite movie. I've seen Wicked on Broadway, okay? I enjoyed it. But I just stop singing. I'm here to move the plot along and stop singing, okay? I get it.
I'm like living in the song. I'm like, you know.
Do your little Cynthia Erivo run.
Girl, yeah, you know, when I got home, you know. Now, I was glad that I waited as long as I did, because I didn't even think about, I had talked to an intern, like, around the time it had come out, and she's like, I'm going to see it this weekend. I was like, oh, that should be fun. And she's like, well, I was talking to Sarah, and she was saying she's going to wait because, you know, everyone's going to be in there singing. And I'm like, oh, just go see it again. Yeah. And the girl told me, I don't know that I can afford that. And I was like, oh no, my privilege. Oops. Professional privilege. Like, oh, I have a big grudge. Like, this is a college student.
Right.
I can't pay $20 twice to see Wicked twice. Okay.
That's valid. That's valid.
I'm like, you know what?
We're in a good place. That's a nice reminder.
40 versus.
And just now, do I feel like I can see a movie twice? I get it.
Just go see it again, girl. Like, oh, I don't think I can afford to. I'm like,
okay, valid. That's valid.
Yeah, you know what? Check that privilege. Yeah. So, very much enjoyed it. I mean, it was a great time. I was in there with maybe 6 other people in that theater, and you know, it was great. And I came home and I got the album on Spotify and found my little songs that I could sing. And I was like, oh, I like it. And I've seen the musical on Broadway, and, you know, I enjoyed that. Enjoyed it. And it's been years since I've seen that, but loved the movie. Like, okay, I'm here for it. But I am a musical girl. You know.
Yes, I respect it. I respect the theater in you. Good for you.
The dramatic person that I tend to be at times, you know.
Yes, we love it. We respect it. I just realized, and again, forgot how to podcast because we've just been in here having a little conversation.
Vibing.
I hope you guys are here for this. Do you want to take a little break and maybe we'll come back with some Pisces news and maybe a little combo about the new moon? Okay, all right. In that case, we will be right back.
After these messages, All right, we are back with, I can't say we're back with, we are back with relatable content. We're still in the relatable content.
We are. And you know what? This was a shoot the shit episode anyway.
Yes.
This is our intro back to podcasting, your intro back to our shit. I feel like I haven't even caught anybody up on like what's been happening. I did say I got laid off, so there's that. But there's just so much. It's been so long. I don't know. You'll figure it out.
We'll and we'll get to all the things.
Yes,
as time goes.
We'll get the lore along the way. Yeah.
Yes.
I just told Christine some very important lore on the break about what I've been getting into lately.
I'm like, how do we get to nine something before we got to this tea?
Some very big news for me.
News.
Big news. Good news.
Great
Good news.
news.
Great news.
Okay.
Great news.
Yes.
Many things in my life are falling apart, but let me tell you, the love life is
What's
going.
not falling apart? Okay.
The sex life is going. Anyway.
It's going.
The Mars retrograde is lifted. The things are happening. So, and you know what? We're manifesting that for Christine. It's going to happen for her too.
Oh, things. Look, I tell Shelby, like, I might be a hoe down in Austin just in a little while.
Look, it's nothing wrong with that. Get weird. Keep Austin weird, okay?
Okay. See if I can run up on a little conference bay. Okay. Take them up to my room.
Vacation bay. Right. Okay. All right. We were literally just like, we're gonna keep it short.
No, we're gonna keep it brief. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Conference bay. Let's get into it now.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you about that next time. All right. So we've got some Pisces news. Some news about your celebrity Pisces friends.
Yeah.
Christine, what do you have for us?
So really, really short. I saw recently that our Olympic, GOAT.
Yes.
Of a gymnast.
Yes.
Simone Biles.
Favorite Pisces.
Decided to recreate, or procreate.
Recreate. I like recreate better.
I like recreate.
That makes me pretend like she doesn't have an annoying husband. It's like she's just recreating a tiny
just
Simone
another
Biles.
Little Simone. Yes, that's what we're hoping for. Yes. Another little Simone. But I'm very excited for her. I know I watched her documentary a little while back. Is it Simone Rising? Something like that. Also, I loved the Rising, piece. It's very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's talked about in that documentary, like, people are speculating, are you going to do another Olympics? That whole thing, she is kind of most people have gone far, gone on.
Yes.
At this age. And she's 28 or something like she's not very old.
Right. But for a gymnast, way up there.
Because most of the, girls are like teenagers.
Right.
Young teens. And so, she talked about, ready to do, some more things in her life, have other experiences like being a parent. And so that's just very, it's always very exciting. People want to, have kids and they get to, create new life and love on a little baby.
And I think a Pisces mother just sounds lovely, right? You get all the feelings and, you just lots of care there. I imagine she's going to be a great mom.
Yeah.
And that,
definitely.
Actually, I didn't even mean for it to, but it segues so nicely into the next little thing that I had in
about
Pisces
another mom.
News. Yes. Another favorite Pisces mom of mine, Rhianna, who's just will not stop having babies with ASAP Rocky. They are just so in love.
I love that.
They're so in love. And I put this on here because I just saw a video. ASAP Rocky was recently in court and there was some potential that he may have to serve some jail time and was found innocent. They were in the courtroom. They were like reading the verdict. And the second that the verdict was read, that man was on top of Rhianna. I swear. They were like about to fuck in the courtroom. And I was like, may this love
please
find
let it happen.
All of my Pisces friends. Okay.
Yes.
Just their love is very fun to watch. And I had to look up, because I'm sure we've talked about it on the podcast before, but I had to look up his sign. You have any guesses just off the top of your head? Do you remember?
I don't remember at all.
I didn't either.
Man. Okay, give me an element.
It's an air sign.
It's an air sign. Okay. Is he an Aquarian?
No, he's a Libra. He's a little lover boy. Doesn't that track?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. The Venusian, very fashion heavy.
I didn't think that through long enough, but okay.
No,
that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know that it would have been my first guess either, but when you say it, it's like, of course, like the love and the romance and the aesthetic of it all is just like, that tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
Yes. I had a little Libra boyfriend one time. We only dated for like 30 days. But he was like my best friend. And it was continuing to be my best friend after we stopped dating. And then apparently, well, not apparently, he did. He married another Pisces. But I
okay.
love her, so it's
Okay, we love that. I love that.
and they're a cute little family now. It's like a kid.
Sam is a Pisces, or sorry, he's a Libra moon, which I think it lends itself to very good
Yes.
energy. Especially, I also am an air moon, so the
It vibes.
energy is the Venusian vibes are very, very cool. Very, I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm just every time I see like pictures of them together, I'm just like, what relationship goals? Like, they seem so in love.
Yes. I struggle to not post them. Like, every time I see them, like,
yes,
I want to just post that to my story, because look at that.
And
just look at it.
Look, post it and say, "May this love find me." Text it to your little crush and be like, "Do you want this to be us?"
Like my manifestation board, my vision board. This is what it needs to look like.
And you know what? Maybe I need to. I don't know if you can see it from here. I made a little vision board. It's up at the top here. You can't probably see anything that's on it.
I don't think I can. Oh, it's okay. I just can't see the details of it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm seeing up there. Okay. Yes. Okay. Beside the plant.
Yes, next to the plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for everybody who's not watching this podcast, but I made a vision board on New Year's Eve, and now I'm like, oh, I should have included a picture of them. Like, that's the vibes. That's the vibe. Yeah.
Well, you got some different vibes going on.
I do have some different vibes going on.
I love it.
I get a lot of. I will say my career, who knows what the fuck is going on with that, but my love life is going well, and for that I am grateful.
Yes.
My love life and sex life, just it's going well. It's going well. So thank you.
My Aries energy is always happy with good sex happening.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, and my Aquarius Venus and Aquarius Mars are seeing new and different things happening, and they're loving it.
Yeah,
it's like let's keep it interesting over here, okay?
Keep it interesting,
forward thinking,
juicy,
open-minded,
delicious.
Okay, all right. Before it gets, it's literally just about to say before it gets too horny over here. But you know what? That line has been crossed, and that is also okay.
Yes. I'm gonna rein it back in. Okay.
No, actually, this is a good segue because it is. I know that the listeners will be hearing this a little bit later, but I've been thinking about tonight is a Pisces new moon. And so I've been seeing a lot of, astrologers and kind of spiritual practitioners talking about how this is a good time to be manifesting, especially because it's in Pisces, and Pisces is so dreamy, and this is the time to kind of dream and perhaps fall a little bit into your delusions. So because we're recording this now, and then very shortly after this, there's going to be a Mercury retrograde. And so we got to get it in now, right? We got to get in the dreaminess, and then we'll check back in next week and see where things are at. So my question to you, Christine, is what are you manifesting right now? What's going to come up for you?
Ooh, okay. Well, now what I'm very actively manifesting is my little TikTok carear.
Yes.
That is very active happening right now.
Okay, wait, plug your TikTok
delusion
so that everyone can go follow you right now if they aren't
TikTok
already.
At the Dreamy Piscean. Now, if you like, I'm in my style bag here. It's been all over the place. When I started it, I was in my crafting bag. Well, I'm still in my crafting bag, but I'm doing jewelry for the bag.
Yes.
Right now. And so there's lots of bags and things, and I try to do some other style cuts and stuff. So I'm leaning into my Taurus rising right now.
Yes, I love it.
And so that's what we're doing. It's a good time. I'm having fun with it. And so far I've been I've been very consistent lately.
You really have. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm on my thing. Now what I would like to be manifesting, which we'll be working toward. Me and Shelby had a pep talk during the break.
Yes.
About how to go about this.
Pep talk was needed.
Because I've had a crush for a while,
and
I said when I left my saying too much, but when I left my old job, I was shooting my shot, and then when I originally said it, it was much earlier than when it actually happened, but it has happened. And here we are. And so it's like, okay.
And you still have not shot your shot.
And I have not shot it. And so I was reminded today that I needed to shoot it. Even though what I was telling Shelby is I've been trying to be in my soft girl energy. I've been trying to sit back and receive, right? Like Venus, and like not be so much in my Aries energy. But that is where my Venus resides.
What else are you supposed to do? Like, sometimes you got to just go for it.
A girl knows nothing but to take control of the situation, you know?
Yeah, that it would be inauthentic to do it any other way, I think.
I just can't help it. I cannot help it.
I think, and I think obviously it doesn't always work out, but I think that's how you get what you want, right?
True. You just go get it.
You just go get
Aries.
it. That's Aries. Those Aries placements.
I just can't be waiting around, you know? And earth signs move so slow.
I know.
So, you just gotta.
You gotta just
gotta go.
Gotta take it. At least make a move, right?
I'm gonna make a move. I'm gonna send a text and I'm gonna run away from my phone for 3 hours.
There you go.
And then the person probably would have responded within a few minutes. And I'm like, oh no, I waited too long to respond. Anyways.
It's okay. I believe in you. That's tomorrow's problem. But you're going to do it and it's going to work out. And I'm manifesting that for you as well.
We're manifesting a date and more.
And more. And more.
And maybe also a conference bay.
And maybe a conference bay as well. Because there's no reason
have a good time
that you can't have both. Okay.
Absolutely.
No reason why.
Nothing's going to happen. We're not going to move that fast in a week. In a few days. I'm leaving in a few days. What am I talking about?
Exactly. So we can have both.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to have both.
I love it.
We will have both. I will have.
You will
both.
have both. You will.
Manifestation.
We've said it. It's in the ether.
It into existence.
We have spoken it into existence. I love it.
What are you manifesting, Shelby?
Well, I am I'm manifesting some motherfucking money.
Yes.
I am manifesting a career. And you know what? It takes me back. So here is a brief update. I think I told you the story a while back, but at the very beginning of the year, I was big on I made my little vision board. During any time that, there was a new moon or something like that, I was in here blowing cinnamon through the doorway. I'm like,
yes, ma'am.
I'm doing the rituals. I'm saying, bring the money to me. Okay. It's going to happen this year. I'm going to get my finances in check. That is what I said. And guess what? You know what? This is one of those times where I don't think I was clear enough, or I just have to accept that this is the way that it has to happen, because the truth is money was not going to magically fall in my lap at the job that I was at. So I have to just be like, okay, yep, it's working. It's the manifestations are working.
This is how the stuff happens, though. It's like it's never in the way you're like, oh, it's just falling. It's gonna follow. It's like, no, here's a situation, and now you're about to like literally do whatever the work, the work is to manifest this better situation. Like when we talked about this like a little while back, I was like, oh yeah, this is how that actually happens. And it's never clean like we want it to be. Like,
exactly.
It's always comes with like a level of almost hardship.
Yes, absolutely.
That pushes you into, into what you're manifesting. It's coming though.
It's I trust as soon as I figured out that I was getting laid off, and me and all my coworkers together all getting laid off, right? Like I just knew. I was like, I cannot freak out about this because this is what I asked for. This is literally how I expected this to happen. So along with this new moon, I am continuing to manifest the career that I want, that will bring me all of the things that will be easeful to me, but also will put me in alignment with where I need to be and will help me get my finances together. So that is the main thing I think I'm manifesting right now, because and just continued success in other areas. I feel like I was telling Christine, I feel like relationships, friendship, and otherwise are very good right now. So we're going to keep watering those. We're going to stay there. Yeah. And we're going to see what happens with this career. It's coming. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's coming.
Yep. I didn't. We had this conversation. How many years ago did you leave Nashville?
Two
Is it
and a
2 or
half.
3?
It's
Okay, it's 2 and a
almost
half.
3. It'll be 3
Okay.
over the summer. It'll be 3.
Yes, that's right. And so when Shelby left Nashville, she left her position and she's like, you should apply for this position. No, I don't want to.
Nah.
Go do another job that pays significantly less.
Well,
But I was like, I still want to do direct work, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And so funny enough, I am now in this same position. Yes. And I'm supporting some of the same people that Shelby did. And,
the same motherfuckers.
The same motherfuckers. Some of them are great.
Some of them
motherfuckers are great.
Great. Yes.
Some of them are some real motherfuckers.
But you know who the motherfucker is. We both know who that is.
Yeah, and it's really just one motherfucker, okay?
Yes.
And yeah, so I mean, I didn't go down this road to say that particularly, but the journey. This is, and some shit happened in between
along the way. Yes, for both of us
to this place. Yes, so I'm like
a lot of shit, and look,
it's gonna happen. Yeah. And I'm like, now I can, and I feel more stable, so that I can do the other things that I'm always doing and trying to do, but I feel in a much more stable place to do them.
Yeah.
And so it's trust the journey.
Trust the process. Trust the process. Yes. I think that is the one thing that if I'm talking to anybody now about manifestation, I'm like, you got to know you're about to be in for a ride. Okay. It's not going to just be the thing that you think it is. Yeah. And
usually, because this is all part of your story too. And so when you now in the church world, they say this is your testimony, right?
Yes.
This is where you're building your testimony. Okay. But, and everyone, regardless of being in a church or not, everyone has one.
Exactly.
And so we've all got that story. And so this is part of building that story. And so one day you're going to tell us the story.
Yes.
Of how you made it. Okay. No, I'm not going to.
No. What? I love this. This is Christine's hour to.
I think got churchy on this now.
I love it. I love it when it's applied to this content, especially.
Right. Yes. You know me, because you know where I'm at.
The word is there. The word is in you. Yeah.
There's a word.
It's amazing. I was thinking about that too, though, because it's the same, like a couple years ago, right around the time I left Nashville and shortly after, I was like manifesting, some relationship things to go well. And that threw me for a loop too. It's like, oh, you get a divorce. You want a good relationship. You want your relationship to be happy and peaceful and healthy, and
get out of this.
Your sex life to be good. Okay, well, 3 years ago, it's like, okay, you got to start over. It doesn't happen the way you think it's gonna happen.
It never does.
But hey, we're here now, and I trusted that journey, so I'm gonna trust this one too. We'll get there.
Yeah. It is not going to take you out. That's what we know. It's not going to take you out. So you're going to get through it, and it's going to be really, truly better on the other side.
Yes. Okay.
And that's on manifestation.
Any other tips and tricks in the manifestation front that you've got?
Ooh, not off the top of my head, but I would, when you said that, manifestation is it's a hot topic right now on TikTok for whatever reason. I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but I watch the topics and all the things, I'm all into the analytics, but it's like a big topic right now. I mean, I feel like it has been, but for whatever reason right now, it's very much trending. So people are trying to figure out how to manifest the situations that they want for themselves. So,
I think
maybe we should do an episode. Do we
maybe
talk
we
about
should.
manifestation?
I can't remember. And if not, we love to revisit a topic.
Yeah,
so
true. We like to spin the block.
That. Yes. We love to spin the block.
We love
sure
to
do.
Spin the block. And sometimes it works out,
Sometimes a spin the block is right where you need to be. It's like, this block is different than it used to be.
Okay.
They've added, that building didn't used to be there.
Over here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow. Seen it with fresh eyes.
Yes.
I I don't think I can recommend that to very many people, but like for me, it worked.
It worked out
great.
for me. It worked for me.
It worked for me. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it would work for everybody. So,
Yes, please.
I don't know.
Exercise wisdom, people.
Yeah. Wisdom, caution, all of the above.
Don't ignore the flags. If they're flags, if they're red,
remember,
yellow, even the yellow ones.
Time to bring back the red flag bikini.
Listen.
Let's get the merch shop going.
Talking about manifestation, let's get the red flag bikini.
On the pod, we're manifesting success for the podcast as well.
Yes.
Yeah. We got that.
So let's do the things. All right.
We can make it happen.
We can make it happen. You can do it. We got it.
I'm trying to think if there's any other big astrological things we should cover before we...
So we talked about retrogrades.
Yes. Oh, yes. Retrogrades. Yeah.
We have Venus retrograde that starts here again. Today is the 27th of February. I think, what does it start on the 1st of March, I think?
That sounds right.
Is
so
it
just
Venus
a couple of days.
Mercury. One of them starts on March 1st.
Yeah.
But they start pretty close together. So, like, we're about to go into retrograde season. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like, we know not to be afraid of retrogrades, but, slow down, be reflective.
Yes.
Really, be considerate of certain aspects of our lives and spend that time. So yeah, I got to get this text in before Mercury retrograde.
Yes, absolutely. And we just spent all that time talking about a little bit of this was off mic, but like I'm applying for all these jobs and like all the technology has not improved at all. So like I have to double, triple check everything I'm doing next week.
Yeah,
for sure. Like there's a lot with technology that could go wrong. So just no need to be scared. Just settle in. Know that you're going to be in for a ride.
Yes.
Be prepared to just chill out. Things are not going to happen perhaps very quickly.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I will tell you, when I started reading about this particular Venus retrograde, which is a few months ago, I was nervous because, we've talked about on the podcast, the last Mercury retrograde really was a doozy. Now that retrograde was in Capricorn. Was that the last one or the last one that just had me in a space? It was in 2021, so there might have been one in between there.
The last Venus retrograde.
Did I say Mercury?
Yes, but I knew what you meant.
Sorry. Yes, Venus. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, Venus retrograde.
No, but you went through a time. You went through a big time. Back then.
Yes.
But if you're not in a relationship, then your relationship can't implode.
The relationship certainly can implode. And so, but I think this one, because we're moving back through Pisces and I'm not going to check it right now, but whatever degree, I know the Venus is in Aries right now. And I think I was watching this movement. I was like, is it gonna conjunct my Venus before it retrogrades? But I don't think it did. It might have conjuncted my Mercury before. I don't know what degree it's on right now, but it's going to pass back through Pisces, which, pass back through our suns again and get to, so I think that's actually going to be a much better retrograde than it has been, or the last one that I at least have memory of.
Yeah. Because 2021, let's see. When in 2021 would that have been?
I think it was late. I think it was like November. Maybe that was the start date, somewhere in there. And things were like, we talked about our Virgo friend, my Virgo friend, may or may not
resurface.
Resurface, We don't know. But, well, not in that way. But
sure.
Not in that way. We'll manifest that.
Yes.
We're not doing that.
Yeah. We're not doing actually. That. Yeah.
At all. But one of the things I've reflected on even so far is like, I'm glad that the experience has happened and like this journey has happened, and it really, before I've even gotten into this Venus retrograde, I've been doing a lot of processing of this, and I think I've had some Chiron Venus conjunction in the last few months. And so it's really had me do some work.
Some deep
on
work.
Some of those wounds.
Yeah.
And some of those, spaces that still needs to be healed. And so I feel good about that. And I feel like strong in that space. And I'm like, okay, we're better.
That's the right energy to go into a retrograde with. Like,
yeah.
Knowing and just fully feeling as though I am prepared for this because I have done the work. Like, yeah, that feels good. I feel like I just got chills. Like,
yes. So now I just need my little Capricorn man to,
because now you're ready. You're ready.
I'm ready for my Capricorn man.
Yes, I love to see that. Okay, well, that makes me feel better because I made a therapy appointment for next week, and I'm like, okay, this was good timing because I have some things to process, right? And then I've got this job thing happening right now that I'm like, okay, I gotta trying to like balance, like, yes, I am working, but also not tying all of my worth to my job and the capitalism of it all. So, okay, then I feel like maybe that was a good decision as well. Like, okay, we're doing the healing here along with the retrograde. So it's going to work out.
We've got to go back and look at those solar returns. Not now, but like see, or even transits. I just like to see like what's happening and then like what's actually happening in your chart because there's always, there's always alignments there. You're like, there it is.
Yes.
There are those things.
Well, and it's about time for, a little solar return because we've both got birthdays.
Birthday. It is solar return season. I just be in my solar returns all the time. So I'm like, this is actually the time to look at it.
This is the time to look at it. Absolutely. Because it's Pisces season.
Yes. I'm like, I got to see what's coming up. Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening with this? What happened last year? Like last year's really showed up. Like, remember we talked about I had the Saturn and Venus conjunction in the 5th house. And we're like, so many situations that seemed like they were going to be like a romantic situation or whatever. And here's Saturn.
Yeah.
Blocking it. Delaying the situation. Shutting it down.
And that makes total
sense. It manifested not many times, but a few times last year.
A few times. It's the Aquarius of it all too. Like, yeah. Anyway, okay. Yeah. There was one other thing that it's kind of related but unrelated, but I just thought about this, and really this is just a Pisces ass moment that happened where I'm in a little group chat with a couple of my friends, and one of them texted us this morning and was like, I had this crazy vivid dream last night, and they were talking about their very toxic ex was in it. And I was like, oh yeah, babe, it's Pisces season now. Like, you're about to have some weird ass dreams. Like, get into it. And she was like, is this what it's like for you all the time? I was like,
yes, welcome to my world.
They're all like, I'm having all these feelings and I'm like having these weird dreams. I'm like, bitch, that's Pisces season. It's coming at you. Like, that is what it's like.
Okay, all the time.
They're like, this is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
My fire sign friend is like, I cannot handle this. What is this? I don't like it. Sorry.
And see, I love fire signs because they love to act like they don't feel, but they do feel. They just feel a lot of passion. Like, it's just a lot of passionate things. Like,
yes,
it's the slower, like deeper feelings that are more difficult for our fire signs.
Yes.
Like, real great with like flashes of anger.
Oh yeah. Oh, they've got that. They've got
rage,
passion, anger, all those Mars, very Mars energy. Yeah, that we've got no problem with that.
Yeah, it's that water energy that we cannot do. It's like, get deep.
Tread that deep water, okay?
Yeah.
Come on, get in there. What's it mean? What does that mean?
Let's go scuba diving.
Yeah, come on.
Get all the way down there. What's down here?
Okay, one last thing, and then I'll stop bringing stuff up because we're at about an hour and a half. But have you seen anything about the anglerfish? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Okay, let me see if I can pull up a picture so you know what I'm talking about. There is, it's so interesting. So I saw this video. It's an anglerfish. And anglerfish are very, very deep sea fish, right? They're the ones that have the little lantern on their head. So it's like they literally cannot, they never see the light because they live so deep in the ocean, right?
Okay.
So they're kind of freaky looking. They look like a very prehistoric, like this kind of fish, right? Kind of scary. Like, doesn't that look like prehistoric as fuck?
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, they have a little light on their head. They're like just a very, whatever. People don't see them often because they're like, humans can't go to those depths. So recently, a few weeks ago, an anglerfish surfaced. Someone took a video of one surfacing like towards, not all the way to the top, but it was alive and it just was like reaching towards the light, like towards the top. So I see this. The first thing I think is, what's going on in the depths of the ocean, because it's scary down there, right? So why is this fish coming up? Like, what is this? You know, what is this? Like, is it dying? Is there chemicals down there? Something bad's happening? But then I see all these people. There's tons of people talking about it on TikTok. Like, it's this big spiritual side. Like, this thing has like risen to the light. It's like these things that are coming from the depths are coming to light. And like, then there was all these people having these big emotional reactions because they're like, this thing like had to be on the verge of death, and it like had this, you know, instinct to go towards the light. And there's just something really like beautiful about that. And really, I don't know, it all felt very poetic. So if you look on TikTok, there's like so many people talking about it. It's very interesting.
Okay.
But I just, now I've been thinking about it. I'm like, what does it mean? Like, all these people are seeing it as a sign that like there's a revolution coming because like the darkness is coming up and out, and now it's at the surface, and we're going to do something about it. So I don't know. That's my little woo-woo take on the anglerfish.
Yes. Well, you know that, you know, the darkness coming to the light is very much a spiritual theme. Like,
exactly.
Like things that live in the dark, when, you know, exposure of things, you know, like,
So I don't know.
I mean, that could go in so many ways. And, you know, you say revolution, I'm like, we gonna have to.
Come here, Pluto.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an episode about that.
That's coming, y'all. Like, we're gonna revisit that Pluto return because we talked about it a couple years ago.
But we see it. It's crazy how it's manifesting itself. Like, it is exactly.
And so technically, we're post Pluto return, but look at the state of things. Like, So we're gonna lay it out, but
that's for later in the season.
Yes,
I guess you know, while we're here talking about that, so that is an episode that I know that we're really excited about. Do you have any other episodes that you are feeling very excited about at this moment?
Well, you know, people have asked me, you know, as much as I talk about Virgos, why I have not done a Dear Virgo Men episode.
We've not had one.
We have not. And I thought before, maybe I had said this, but I had, you know, said, I feel like I give them so much heat just throughout the seasons that we maybe not need a whole episode. But people want the episode.
The people want it.
Dear Virgo Men, definitely.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming in hot. So
we may even have a guest.
Ready. Maybe
not for that episode, but we may have a Virgo.
But we
on
might
the pod
have a Virgo pod
at some point.
At some point, you know, because yes. But anyway, I'm excited to roast the Virgos. I'm like, and this will probably be the best roast I can give because I've got so much experience.
You've got much to say.
Now, I have polled some folks over on TikTok, and they had a lot to say too. Okay. I think they thought that I was still trying to date a Virgo, and I was like, oh, no.
We've moved on.
I didn't want the tea because I want to date one. I want the tea. I want your tea.
Yes,
like,
tell me
I got
what
plenty
you
of tea.
Right, but tell me more, and we will talk about it on
your
the pod.
tea. And so people, were very, very vocal about how they felt about Virgos. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and you know what? If we need some testimonials, I know some people who've been spent some significant time with Virgo men, and it never seems to go well. So, much to say. Let's just
yes,
say.
anyway, we'll save it for the next episode. 'Cause, Virgo men just wreaking havoc on the world.
Indeed. Well, we've got
Yes,
that
ma'am.
coming up. And I think, while we're here, I'll just mention that we have kind of decided to do things a little bit differently this season. So we're going to have five episodes. What I think you called it year-round school. And I really like that. So this podcast, we've had this long hiatus and we've decided to change up the format a little bit. So we got year-long school happening. We're going to do about 5 episodes, including this one. And then we're going to take a little mid-season break. A short mid-season break, right? Not the months that we had before.
Right.
And then we'll come back with another 5 episodes and then take a little break. And then we'll just keep it rolling.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
So we can just be with you year round. You can hear us in the summertime. Yeah. You can hear us in the fall, in the winter, in the spring.
Keep us with you in your hearts and in your heads and all of the above.
Always the delusions. You need delusions year round. You need this at this point. You need our delusions to keep you sane.
Yeah, at this point,
in this climate, in these times,
in these trying motherfucking times,
we're here for you.
We are, and honestly, I think that's. I was just gonna say we're here for you, but also I think maybe we've given you enough of ourselves for today. There'll be much more upcoming.
So much more. So much to give. We have so much love to give.
So much love and so much astrological pondering and so many tangents and anecdotes and
messy mess. We don't come back with some messy mess.
You already know. Yes. You see me out here. I'm like just jumping into it. Just jumping into the mess. Yes.
I love the mess.
I love it. Maybe I'll talk about that next time we talk about Venus signs or something.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yes.
Make it weird. Look,
let's get weird.
You want me to go into detail? You'll have to find me on OnlyFans or something. I don't know.
Hello.
See, I think about it every day. I'm unemployed.
Paywall.
Right. There you go.
I told you to get them feet. Girl, go and get that pedicure.
We're going to go out. We're going to get our white pedicures, our white toes.
Sure.
And we'll go from there.
I have to, I might, you never know, because, I'll do some stuff on the random.
Conference Bay. Come on.
Get somebody to get these feet. All right. Anyways. All right. So.
Yes. Anyway.
So, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on Virgo men. If you would like to submit some testimonies, a complaint.
Submit a complaint.
Somebody on TikTok said I may be
eligible for compensation. Yes.
And I said, yep. You know what? I sure should. I should be eligible for compensation.
We've hit the pen too many times.
We've hit it too many times. It's time.
We're having a good time. It's time.
So I maybe do compensation for all of my troubles with Virgo
I believe
men.
it. I believe that.
Yes.
100%.
That's why I know this manifestation of this man it's going to be everything, because look at this, the mess I've had to deal with these Virgos.
Yeah.
So
it's coming.
Please reach out. Let us know your thoughts. Tell us things just your astrological ponderings.
Yes.
If you want a chart read on the show, if you want to contribute in some way. Send it too.
And Christine, where should they send it?
They should send it to suchapiscespod@gmail.com, because I almost forgot the email earlier. And that is spelled suchapiscespod@gmail.com.
And you can also find us at Such a Pisces Pod on Instagram, on TikTok. We don't use Twitter anymore because Twitter is owned by some fascist asshole.
Get it out of here.
Get it out of here. But right now, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok. Anywhere else? I can't think of anywhere else.
I think we had a Facebook.
We're still on Facebook.
Y'all,
you don't need to go there.
Don't look for us on Facebook. But
I think we have maybe one follower.
We have a presence. Yeah, yes, it's like
we're there. We picked up the domain name because, why not?
You got to. But please, if you're actually looking for any level of content, please look on Instagram or TikTok.
Instagram and TikTok. I've learned more about social media in the last few months.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to get us on a schedule. I probably will not make that happen.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Literally,
try social media again.
Before we sat down, I was like taking a little video of the recording setup so I could be like, behind the scenes, up here we go. And we'll see if it gets posted. I'm going to do my best.
That's post your content. That's me. I'm like the content coach out here. I'm like, what is happening?
I saw you cleaning out your drafts the other week. You were like, this is a video. I was like, this is from months ago.
You can tell when it's old. Like, you lived in a different place. You were with your ex at the time when you took this video.
You were at the water park. We did that together. And I have not lived there in 3 years. Like, good for you, girl.
Cleaning out the drafts.
That content. Schedule that content. I'm happy for you.
Get it out of here. I'm like, I be in the drafts. I'm like, there's so much good stuff in here. And like, some of the stuff, I'm like, and it's so well done. It's so well edited. But my ex is in it. And I'm like,
no.
But I still want to post it because it was great content. I was like, why didn't I post this at the time?
Can we blur a face or something?
Can I put a clown on her face? The clown on my...
I mean, nobody's going to stop you. You might as well. Nobody's going to stop you.
That'll get the comments going. What's going on with that clown?
Wait, and you're like, just ignore that. Just pretend that's not there. Look at the rest of the content. Yeah. They're going to be like, this bitch is messy.
And am.
What are you going to do about it?
Okay. Am I Pisces?
Yes. Sorry. We're in it. Get in it. Get into it.
Get into it. Okay.
And get into this podcast. Rate us wherever you're listening, whether you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any other platform. Get into rating this podcast 5 stars and sending us some messages, okay? Get into it.
Get into it. We want to see it. Blow us up.
Please. We would love that. Oh my God.
We'll deal with it. Blow us up. All right. So in the meantime, and in between time, stay safe in these streets. Protect your energy.
What is my sign-off line? I don't remember anymore.
Seduce and scheme safely, y'all.
That's right. Thank you. Oh, and that's so appropriate. Thank you. I seduce and scheme safely, y'all.
There you go, girl.
You started going. I was like, man, I've remembered everything else. What is my sign-off line? Seduce and scheme.
You have to type those into the outline as well. Type in the tagline so we don't forget.
Like, actually, that's good. I'm glad I have that. Thank you. All right, y'all. Seduce and scheme safely. See y'all next time.
All right. Bye. Peace out.
Bye.